Morning once again. It's 10 minutes into the 10 o'clock hour. It's time for Probono Chambers. My name is Ruth, and we have a full house we've been having in the past weeks now. Okay, so we have Mr. Uche Wazroye. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Ruth.
And our in-house barrister, Adana. Good morning to you as well.
Good morning, Ruth.
Okay, so I'm loving today's topic. It's like we're going to find out who are these lawyers that I have in the studio. So today is all about the legal practitioner. On Probono Chambers, though, in case you're new, this is where we talk about anything legal. We also prefer solutions. We give you advice, legal advice for free, and that makes it pro bono. So if you are listening for the first time, you may just want to, stay very close to your radio. You may learn a thing or two, and most importantly, you will be, enlightened and know more about your rights, things you can do and should do, even as you go about your daily activities. But like I said, we will focus first on a topic, and it has everything to do with the legal practitioner. Who is a legal practitioner in Nigeria?
Just ask us, who are you?
So, Adana, who are you?
Thank you, Ruth. A legal practitioner in Nigeria is one who has undergone the regular program of legal studies, and the person is learned or has knowledge of the law. According to the Legal Practitioners Act, and is licensed to practice. According to the Legal Practitioners Act here in Nigeria, which is applicable to all lawyers in Nigeria, they specifically stated that a legal practitioner is one who has been called to the Nigerian bar and one whose name is in the roll. The roll is where every lawyer in Nigeria's name appears to have a license to practice as a legal practitioner in Nigeria. So legal practitioners in Nigeria are basically barristers and solicitors. They are not just specializing a particular area of law. They have the ability and the capacity to practice as a barrister and solicitor.
Is this the part where I refer to you as my fellow learned colleague?
No,
I'm not a fellow.
You haven't undergone the regular program, the law program that you should have.
It's fine, and we're so happy that wherever we are, Mr. Uche wants to say something.
Just to illustrate what Adana said, there is this seeming confusion about the point at which you are referred to in Nigeria as a legal practitioner. The confusion often stems from perhaps some people who have finished their legal studies in their various universities or abroad, and they've not gone to Nigerian law school, or some of our colleagues who may have qualified to be lawyers in other jurisdictions outside Nigeria, and they want to come into Nigeria and tell you they have 15 years experience out there. They are as learned as you are in Nigeria. In Nigerian soil, you can only be called and qualified as a legal practitioner, just like Adana has said, when you have completed your training, which commences from the university and terminates at the Nigerian Law School. And when the Nigerian, you have been called to the bar by the body of benchers, regulated by the Council of Legal Education that regulates the law school. Then the body of benchers call you to bar, and then after that you take the step. That is why the identity of every Nigerian lawyer is enrollment number at the Supreme Court. Once you are called, I go to Supreme Court and you are enrolled and given a enrollment number. It is that enrollment number that entitles you to practicing license. But once you have that enrollment number, after being called to bar, you are referred to in Nigeria as a legal practitioner. So there's no distinction if you have stopped at the point of leaving university. You are a knowledgeable person, you are a law graduate, but you are not a legal practitioner.
Wow, okay. She mentioned something about specialization, area of specialization, as if to say you cannot specialize in a particular form of, what will I call it now? We have lawyers who are known for, let's say, is it divorce or marriage, or how do I put it now?
Matrimonial causes. I think Adana wants to clarify issues stems from the topic. Perhaps you may not have fed our audience there on the real topic we are talking today. The real topic today is the employment of services of a legal practitioner or a lawyer in Nigeria.
Well,
At not the I mean they engage in the simplest terms. What is it?
To get to a legal practitioner,
how can you get the best lawyer to give you the best service in your area of need? That's actually simplicity. That's what we want to see whether I can enlighten the audience about. And then,
so are you saying there are no areas of specialization?
No, there are definitely. But the point we want to drum home is that because of the nature of the regulation of the practice of law in Nigeria, if you've been called to Nigerian bar, you are licensed to do virtually everything a lawyer can do. This is in contradistinction with what is obtained in some other jurisdictions like England, Wales, and Ireland, where in such jurisdictions you either graduate and be called or be qualified as a solicitor or an advocate. But in Nigeria, once you are called to the bar, you are both solicitor and an advocate. The difference in both is that if you are a solicitor, mainly you can handle soliciting matters like legal advice, writing letters, writing agreements, vetting documents, giving all those things that do not have to do with advocacy in court. Of course, advocacy in court means your ability to go to the court and represent yourself or a client. Out there, if you are not an advocate, in fact, how they do their services practically is, if you have a legal matter, you meet a solicitor who will guide you, do all those letters and all the necessary things. But when the matter is not resolved, or something that may lead you to going to court for adjudication, you now are referred. Either by yourself, you choose your lawyer of your choice, or you may elicit the services of that solicitor to refer you to an advocate who can assist you. But in Nigeria, a lawyer once called to bar, in quote, is A all and B all. You can start anywhere and end anywhere. And why we want to illustrate that difference is because of that composition, that empowerment, that ability, that right you have to do both. Sometimes, unlike what is obtained over there, some people that need the services of lawyers do not understand who to meet and how to meet the best person. And
so we're still coming back to getting the right person for your peculiar situation.
But to answer you directly on whether lawyers in Nigeria can specialize, yes, both academically and in practice. A lawyer, after being called to bar, even with your ability, with your license to do all, you may decide to branch off to any area of greater interest. Like you see some people that are very good at company matters, and there are some arbitration, mediation, some take interest in writing agreements or general soliciting. Some even go and branch and specialize in just well, that's not a legal job, but you see them propelling NGOs based on their sound knowledge of the law, like human rights, non-governmental organizations. So you are qualified to do that even as a practitioner without even attending. You can choose to look, I want to be more interested in based on your drive and your passion and other available things that will take you to such things. But also you can also specialize academically. Like some people, after your first degree, of course, when you are going for your master's LLM program, you are not going to study general law like you did in the first degree. You are required to choose the area of interest, the same way you can progress in your doctorate law degree. So you can specialize both in practice and in and academically. But the point we make is, even when you have already specialized in anything you call specialization, you can fall back on any other one, and that is where clients or litigants or consumers of our services become sometimes susceptible to having the wrong choice of
so
lawyers.
Before you employ the services of a legal practitioner, now what are the things you should know first, or steps to take before you know who to go for?
Okay, thank you. The most important step to take is to inquire if such legal practitioner has been accredited to practice, in as much as we have all of the existing bodies that ensure that legal practitioners are covered and governed, and that legal practitioners' behaviors are fit and proper. There are persons out there who parade themselves to be legal practitioners but are not legal practitioners. So if you are to engage the services of a lawyer here in Nigeria, ensure that the person is accredited, has been called to the Nigerian bar. It's not bad if you ask for the person's certificate.
Okay,
of course.
So that's one way to find out. Yeah.
No, apart from that, you may not be bold enough to do that. But one of there are some. If you Google, the internet is there.
Yeah.
We have MBL lawyers directory on the internet. If you go to Supreme Court, is there. If you approach the local branch of because most lawyers are required or expected to belong to their local branches of the bar. So there are so many ways you can find out whether somebody is a lawyer or not. But even after finding out that somebody is a lawyer, we advise, and that is the purpose of this, that you must take steps to decide to make sure you don't get a lawyer that can put you in jeopardy. Cases are won and lost often because of the type of lawyer you engaged. We are not saying about any particular, we are not even claiming competence or superior knowledge to anybody, but we are just giving general advice that before you, and what will determine your choice of lawyer often is the nature of the services you need a lawyer render to you. For example, you want to do, I'm using this, you want a lawyer to serve you in areas like, by mentioned area, maybe company matters. You have a big company, you are running into complications with those who you have given some part of your interest, and they want to make and issues are coming out of it. If you know a lawyer who perhaps has served as company secretary to a very big law company before, you may direct your attention to such a person. But also, I think we may more importantly be thinking more at this point on when you have a matter that you think that you may need the service of a lawyer in advocating, in educating on it in the court. What are the things that may make you inform your decision of the choice of lawyer? Because let us get it right. The right of choice of lawyer of your choice is constitutional. The Constitution guarantees you, and it's important all of us understand this. No lawyer should impose his services on you. You have a right to hire and fire any lawyer at all times, even when you have not fully paid a lawyer. This thing some of us do, that when you have not fully paid me, you want your file. I said no, except to pay me, and I hold you. I will release you upon the contingent point of you paying me. All those things are absolutely wrong.
Okay.
At any point, your client doesn't want your services, whether he has paid you or not, he has a right to disengage you, and you have a duty to give him everything he needs that will help him to get engaged to a lawyer of his choice. If he has not paid you, recovery of the payment for the services, the fee for the services, is a different ballgame, and the law is very clear on how the steps you can take. You cannot hold a client to ransom because he has not paid you your fees. That is why if you are a smarter lawyer, you know when to collect your fees. If you fail to collect it at the appropriate time, and despite the nature of agreement.
Because I'm thinking some people may, if they have this knowledge now, they will take advantage of it.
I would like to add to that. In as much as this is coming to our knowledge, the rules of professional conduct makes provision too for lawyers who are employees to some persons, not to be owed for their services. So if you have rendered services to a lawyer who is your employee, the lawyer has a right to withhold the documents, whatever documents that is resourceful to you, until you pay up the lawyer's debt. You can't hold it back because you feel you have rights over the lawyer, because naturally you don't think you shouldn't hold someone's money, especially for services rendered. That is quite.
I didn't get that, Adana. If what I got you is that,
and I will give you clarification.
No. If for example, the extent I know to that is, for example, I've recovered money from you for you on your behalf. I have a right to withhold if we have clearly agreed on my services, I have a right to deduct my fees based on the agreement and give you the balance. But I have no right, perhaps if that is what you are suggesting, I've processed your CFO and you have to pay me 200,000 naira, for example. I've followed up, done all the right things and followed up, and you have it, and I now have the CFO. You now want to sell your property. I say, except you pay me, you cannot sell your property. That is dating you. I don't think that our ethics allows us to do something like that.
So what is that right time that the lawyer should get, should ask for his pay? Is it after he's done the job, or
let me say clearly, the engaging the services of a lawyer is like any other form of contract. It depends on your negotiation power and the fee structure, and then also the ability of the client to pay. Mind you also that the background of our job is essentially humanitarian. No law is required, or every law is expected to place the interest of his client, the justice of the matter, above the fees he will receive from his client.
Many people are scared of getting a lawyer. It's expensive too. So how will...
But we are not cheap either, because a lawyer has bills to pay too. But the point I'm making...
How is that humanitarian?
No. See, that's why the benchmark, the benchmark of charging is the status of the lawyer and the ability of the client to pay. For example, there are things you bring to me. If I look at how pathetic the situation, and I know that you may not be able to pay, the same nature, the same case, I may, for example, say, okay, pay me 100,000, let me help you. Somebody may come to my office with the same nature of case, and I know that this is a multimillionaire, for crying out loud, and he can afford me. And I tell him, Oga, I say my fee is 5 million. He say, for what? I say, for the services. If you cannot afford me, look for the one you can afford. He can, the same service, the same documents, the same material facts. He can say, oh, I'm paying you 3 I say, I'm not taking, because I know he has the capacity to pay me according to what I've placed
that's just based
on myself.
On personal judgment.
No. Is the general criteria.
Okay.
A criterion for charging fees for lawyers. One is the status of the lawyer, and then the ability of the client to pay. You wouldn't be required, wouldn't be advised ethically to see somebody who has an otherwise a good case, especially when the person is suffering oppression or suppression, and you scare him away with your fees. The background of our job requires you to assist that person maximally. Whether there are some, we are even required, it's even one of the things you must do if you are to become a senior advocate of Nigeria. You must show evidence of doing some pro bono cases. That is how strong it is impressed upon us, and that is our teaching, that is our learning.
Okay, so to add to what you need to look out for in getting a lawyer, it's you have to look at if the lawyer has an area of specialty, and if the lawyer had handled a similar problem as yours. If a lawyer has an area of specialty that is not similar to the case you're bringing to the lawyer or the need you want from the lawyer, there won't be a need to engage such lawyer. You might need to ask the lawyer for a referral of another lawyer who can handle your matter or not. You know? Yeah. So
let me amplify. We are just doing this free service to the consumers out there.
But of course, it's pro bono chamber.
Sure. This is like batting ourselves, really? One basic thing a litigant should look out for is somebody that can give him the services that will satisfy his needs. and there is no hard and fast rule, especially in our jurisdiction. You know, everything in Nigeria is done about who knows who and who knows what. Then sometimes you see yourself out of sympathy or out of relationship or out of whatever extraneous consideration, you see yourself in the wrong hands. We advise, especially when it is a hostile proceeding, the things I know I can do now with my knowledge of insight now, with the privilege of inside knowledge. If I have if I'm not a lawyer and I have a case, how can I get one major way you can get a good lawyer is often through referral. If you see, don't rush to look for anybody. If in your town union, in your church, among your friends, among your relations, you see somebody that has had a similar matter before and has gone through it successfully or otherwise, you can tell him, look, this is my land, it appears I'm being sued. I know you have had a similar thing. How did you come about it? In the course of his discussion, he can tell you that lawyer that handled it for me did it well.
Okay.
Or even I lost because I know that lawyer didn't do it well. The other lawyer that was against me, I heard his name is so and so person. You can go after it. You can be rest assured that it could be a very good clue towards getting a good lawyer that will assist you. Another place I suggest to people that they can assist them in looking for good lawyers is go to some courts, not just one perhaps. Go to the court that where the case is pending, not that particular court. For example, if it is High Court, in Abuja here we have about 37 High Courts. Now, if the case is pending in High Court 15, for example, you may go to the registrar or legal advisor of High Court 10 and maybe 32 and say, look at what I'm having. Naturally, you may be the possibility is there that they may want to refer you to a lawyer that is closer to them, that gives them money. But more often than not, among all those that are good with them, they would tell you, look at this, Mr. A or B or C. I know him, he has conducted a similar matter in our court, and we were impressed about his performance.
So you go to such a court, you don't have to pay money, you have access
No.
to
Most of them have to just meet the registrar or legal advisor of legal assistant of the judges and ask them, look, I need a lawyer for, so look at the nature of the matter I'm having. Who can you advise me to meet? They will give you a list of 2-3 different lawyers that you may want to approach. So these are some of the...
We need to go on a quick break at this point, but we have been looking at how to employ the services of a legal practitioner in Nigeria, trying to know how we can get the best lawyer for our peculiar situation. Just stay with us, we'll be right back and the program will continue.
Human Rights Radio on 101.1 FM.
Kedu ife ịchọ? Ọ bụ ife eji esi nri, ọ bụ akwa na akpụkpọ ụkwụ, ka ọ bụ akpa ụmụ gị ji eje akwụkwọ na ife iji achọ mma? Gbalụ bịa Halibis Mall, isi ụlọ ngwaahịa anyị dị na +660 Cadastral Zone B1, Franca Febua Crescent Zone E, Apo Legislative Quarters, Gudu District, Abuja. Anyị nwekwara ụlọ ngwaahịa anyị ọzọ na number 1 Medical Center Road, Maraba, Abuja. Nke ikpeazụ bụ na number 21 Sariki Meizabo Road, opposite FMC, Kefi, Nasarawa State. Gwa anyị na ekwentị. Akara ekwentị ị ga-eji nweta anyị bụ 081-59 ka mkpọkwa ya n'olu ndị iti 081-5951-0000. Halibis Mall nwere ife niile ị chọrọ n'ofu ebe. Ngwaahịa anyị adịrị ọnụ ma dịrị mma nke ukwuu. Gbalụ bịa na Halibis Mall. Nnọọ.
This is to inform the FCT indigenes that the online applications for Nigerian Army recruitment exercise for 77 regular recruits intake will be from 29th December 2017 to 9th February 2018. The application form is free and will be available online at the recruitment portal www.recruitment.army.mil.ng. All applications will be screened online and qualified applicants will be shortlisted to attend the physical screening exercise at Mogadishu Barracks, Abuja. A state licensed officer will be required to confirm indigency. He would also be required to liaise for the necessary administrative and logistics arrangements for convenience during the recruitment exercise. FCT Administration Announcer.
Human Rights Radio on 101.
Join our diverse team of legal experts as we provide education and guidance to you, our listeners, on a broad array of issues raised by the modern legal landscape, absolutely free on Pro Bono Chambers, airing on Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM, redefining broadcasting.
Human Rights Radio.
Thank you for staying with us on Pro Bono Chambers right here on Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM. My name is Ruth and I have been speaking with Mr. Uche Uwazronye and our in-house barrister Adanna on how we can employ the services of a legal practitioner in Nigeria, and we are having some sort of talk off camera though, but we're back now, and we were looking at how to get a lawyer, where you told us either through referral or going to the court. And at this point, let's open up the phone line first, and then for more information, for more things you may want to say towards the end. But for now, let's get to hear from those listening to us. The number to call is 081-8999-1011. That is 081-8999-1011. It's Pro Bono Chambers on Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM. If you have any questions pertaining to our conversation, feel free to call in. If your questions are not necessarily related to the topic, feel free to call in and ask your questions as well. Hello?
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
And good morning, Barrister. I cannot remember the name again.
Thank you.
But I want to quickly ask a question.
What's your name?
Yes. Sorry. Okay. My name is Solomon. I'm calling from Life Camp.
Okay, go ahead.
I want to quickly ask this question. This question has been bothering me so much. Because me, I'm not a lawyer, but I want to really know if, for example, now, if I go to school, law school now, is it compulsory that I must lie for me to have money, or for me to be a lawyer?
You're asking if you must tell lies?
Yes, because the reason why I bring this on air, because I see so much lawyers, but the ones who have said is my friends, the ones that they have not been lying before, but now when they have become lawyers and they are lying so much.
Solomon,
thank you for that question.
Let's hear their answer, please.
I want to please, if people should allow me, because I'm very disappointed, especially when it comes to Nigerians.
Okay, based on your experience, Sabi.
Because yes, these people that I'm talking about before.
We've got your point, so that we save time. Let us assist you.
People, but now
they've changed.
When they become lawyers, any single thing that they tell me, any single word that they tell you, they must lie, meaning that they are lawyers.
Okay, Solomon.
Yes.
Finally, Hello. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, so just listening to the explanation.
Thank
okay.
Finally, please, before.
Okay, quickly.
And that was why I'm not even advising anybody if you have a case to go and hire a lawyer, because the thing has, it makes me to lose.
Okay, I'm sure that they'll make you change your mind today. So just listen, okay?
All right, thank you.
Interestingly, I was saying a question that, but I'm sure this will just address it, because he needs to have his confidence back in lawyers, especially Nigerian lawyers. So, but let's hear. Are you people taught to lie?
Let me start from the last point. As much as we want to be useful and helpful to society, we are not here to be spited, for someone to spite the legal profession. Nobody can. From the last point he made, he's advising people not to get the services of a lawyer. You realize that this law job is one profession that does not advertise. We are not looking for people look for us, because we are necessary, we are required. So if you don't want to engage a lawyer, you are doing that at your own peril, because when the chips are down, you are the one that will regret. But having said that, the issue of lying, integrity, let me tell you, integrity or lack of it is a vice that is pervasive. It's not only is not a common residue of lawyers. It's not common to lawyers. And then you may, for those who don't know, there's no profession where they teach you the value of integrity more than the law profession from beginning. In fact, if we have had time, I would have schooled us, I would have educated us on the background of this job. That is why it is called a noble profession. A noble profession, from its history to its training to its practice. Everything about law is nobility and integrity. You are never taught to lie. In fact, you are taught to stand by the truth despite whose ox is God. That is why every developed society have had their best contributions made by lawyers. It does not matter that in Nigeria we are not making the best use of lawyers. If you go to other jurisdictions, the parliaments in the United States of America, United Kingdom, majority of them are lawyers, and that's why they are moving on, and they have the same training with Nigerian lawyers.
So it must be their personality.
Sure. Also,
and a decision.
Also, you see, the truth of it is that Nigerian lawyers, in the average, are being disparaged, even just the same way we do because of our culture. If anybody loses a case, he wants to know who he will blame. Now, even in the practice of law, I mean, the real thing that people call lawyers are liars because of what we do in court. You now come, somebody is telling the truth, you make him look like he's telling lie, or somebody is telling lie, you elicit the truth from him through cross-examination. Let me tell you that even the way the advocacy is structured, a lawyer has no opportunity to tell lie, to talk about doing it. You can only do what you have the opportunity to do. There's no lawyer that enters the witness box. The information that the lawyer defends or tries to propagate is information given to him by his client. Often, so many of us even have had, there are things you don't say on air. I've had to defend somebody I didn't know was telling me lie until I set him free. In fact, after the guy had gone, I now had stories about him another place. I was shivering. So many of us are lured into defending what is unjust. Because you don't know. Some of them, like that particular person I remember so well, came from somebody I respect so much and told me, I said, you didn't do it. He said, you know those things, they swear. And I stood by his information to me and defended him to the last. And unfortunately, the other side was weaker. So, but even where lie must be told in particular, the highest a lawyer can do is to, a lawyer that doesn't have a strong integrity can do is to connive with his client. It is you've been to court, all of us are enlightened. We go to court. It is the client or his witness that enters the witness box and swears or affirms that he's going to say the truth. He's not a lawyer. A lawyer only stands to defend what somebody has said or to contradict what another has said. That is the job of advocacy, and it is everywhere.
In short, you're not trained.
You are not trained to do that, and whoever you think that has changed because of his training, he's not the trainer. In fact, the training of a lawyer make you a better person. I remember, apart from law school, my boss that trained me, he will always tell me, Uche, the highest asset of a lawyer is his integrity, and that is the training we receive all over.
I do hope Solomon will have a change of mind and see how he can, have his confidence back in the Nigerian lawyers. Hello.
Hello?
Good morning.
Yes, good morning. My name is Jatau.
Okay, let's hear you.
Yes. I listened to your case over there and you explained very well, even though I'm not a lawyer. But I want to ask him a question. You say if you want to have a case, you can go to any court and ask for the right lawyer that will give you, that will handle your case. I thought that a lawyer is a lawyer that can handle every case. So I go to court 31 and I them to give me the lawyer that will go to court 10.
Okay, let him quickly respond to that. I think it's something we've touched before.
Please, my brother, I feel misunderstood. I didn't say there is any way.
Let me hang the call and listen to radio.
Wait, hold on.
He's hanging, so you can listen.
Hello? Okay, but you got him correctly. You don't want
Yes,
to ask
I got him. No. I got him correctly. If I understood him well, he's saying whether he must go to a party that he believes that any lawyer, every lawyer can handle any kind of type of case, and that must he go to a particular court to get the referral for a lawyer. It's an advice, my brother. I'm only advising the right of choice of lawyer is constitutional, and the Constitution said you're entitled to the services of a lawyer of your choice. That is why you can choose from the smaller ones to the bigger ones according to your ability, or according to what you can get. You must not go to any particular place to get. We are only suggesting to us that, look, in the event you think your thing is your case is a little bit difficult and you are not sure how to go about it, that one of the guidelines, one of the things you can do to make sure you get a relatively good lawyer is to go and ask somebody who has had a similar experience, or go to maybe some courts, ask around, because all this stuff of court, all the different kinds of lawyers appear before them, and they may be able to have hard knowledge or on the, just like you can do, just like the same way if you are having a particular kind of car and you just bought it new and you want to fix it, you are not sure of the mechanic who can do it right, you may simply go to somebody who is riding the same type of car. Where do you fix your car? And the person will tell you. You can even be passing, see a mechanic workshop where that car is parked, and say, let me just, you even just, if you are, for example, you can just park that car, use a different one to go and elicit from them the ability. Just an advice, please. I'm not saying it is a sine qua non.
Good morning. Hello? Okay, maybe we lost that. Sine qua non.
It's not a necessity. I'm sorry. I'm not saying it is a condition.
Now
President, it's not saying
speaking.
I'm not sorry, please. It's part of us.
Okay, we understand.
I say it's not something that you must do.
Okay.
It's not a condition.
Hello.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome. What's your name?
My name is Mukhtar.
Mukhtar, we're listening to you. Please go ahead.
I'm calling from Dark Extension.
Okay.
Sorry, I wanted to ask a question similar to the person that asked before, second to the last caller. As I have a case, if I present this case before a lawyer, and I know as a lawyer, he can study through my explanation, he can know the truth and he can know whether I am lying. But when he heard about the case, is it wrong for a lawyer to advise me if I am not the real owner of that thing, to advise me to withdraw the case or to leave the case?
Okay.
That's my question.
I like that question. You see, it's not just a moral duty. It's a professional duty for you to advise your client candidly. And that's one of the reasons why we thought this topic, we felt like discussing this topic, because like in other jurisdictions, their enforcement of this regulation is stronger. If any client suffers a loss or damage as a result of clear wrong advice of a lawyer, the lawyer is liable. If it is abroad, you have made the person a millionaire and your license may be withdrawn. That is how strong it is, and that is we have similar laws, but it's not enforced so much. So a lawyer has a duty. The primary duty of a lawyer is to tell his client the truth and tell him on the relative strength or otherwise of his case. But mind you also that lawyers are like in the medical field, also like doctors that manage situations. That's why any good lawyer that knows what he's doing also must elicit from his client what he wants. There are situations. Yes, there are. It's not like the client will compel you to do what is wrong, but you advise the client, look, For example, let us take the common thing, and this is where we have people now may misunderstand us. Let us take the issue of landlord-tenant matter, for example. If my tenant is in, he had hoped to renew. Perhaps he improved. I mean, my client is a tenant. He has hoped to renew. All of a sudden, the landlord serves him quit notices and want to take him away. And this man is not prepared, and based on other things, and he said, he comes to me and said, look, you can't be a law, you cannot win, you cannot force yourself on your landlord. But what do you want? He said, okay, I'm expecting my payment in the next 2 months or 3 months. If there's anything we can do to manage the case for the next period of time. That's why a lawyer will bring his prowess. Apart from negotiating with the client, I mean, telling him, look, extend the olive branch, request this from your landlord. And some landlords, they can be obstinate. You know our culture here. They want to show you that they are really the Lord. And the lawyer comes in and, puts up some of those wages or speed breakers, legal speed breakers. And at the end of the day, maybe after 3 months, 6 months, the client is better and he packs out and he pays whatever he is. That is also the responsibility of
so if you have a client you're defending and you, while discussing with him, you find out that he's actually guilty, what would you do? You go on defending him as
Sure. See,
to plead not guilty.
No, get it. In the right place. I don't want to take like we are talking about criminal matter now. Now, this is also where people misunderstand the job of a lawyer. Your job is to defend your client based on your ability. And in prosecution, in criminal matters, the law is clear. He said the burden of proof is on the prosecution. It is you who said that Adana, sorry to use that, stole, must prove how she stole. And a good lawyer, what we now to look to is to wait for you, ambush you, and know at any point you are unable to prove that Adana stole. You have failed in your duty. And like any other person, you take advantage of the situation in favor of your client. That is where, when we now come out, they think that some lawyers are magicians or they have done this or that. The often cases are lost based on the inability of the other side to do what he needs to do. So, and like in any other thing, both in trading, both in commerce, both in engineering, any professional that sees anything that will help him in the interest of who he's serving, we take advantage of it. It's not like you are going to help your client to go and manufacture lies. No. But if there's
then you were able to find out that he's lying. But then since you are
often before you get to even the point of who is telling lies, the blunder may have been done. For example, at Ruth.
What if the other side is actually strong enough as well?
Don't you see people that are convicted even when they're defended by the best lawyers? There are. I hear there are some people.
So your direct answer to me now for that question is you will still defend.
It's your duty.
It's not just I will still. It's an imposition. Listen.
No, because
it's a lawyer's job.
Yes.
You are required by force of law and ethics of your not to reject any brief because it looks bad. Yours is to guide the person to get the best he can in the second. Okay, imagine a situation, Ruth. Somebody has been, I've had, I don't know whether this is airworthy. I've had the privilege one time to defend somebody that was caught with prohibited cabbage, Indian hemp.
Okay.
Now, the guy was caught. And his brother, you know how these things call. His brother came, everybody called, what can you do? And I took him to court. In the course of it, he actually pleaded guilty. The punishment for that offense is very heavy. But I think by what God helped me to do, I was able to persuade the judge to say, look, this person got into this job out of frustration. Look at the quantity that he had, what we call pleading allocutus. He has not done it before and have elicited from him an undertaking that he's not going to do it again. He's the father of so and so number of children. The wife is jobless. If you put him in prison, so and so thing will happen. He may even get worse. He may even get worse. But if you release him and caution him, standing on what I have done, my Lord, this man is amenable to being reformed and he turned to a better life. What the judge?
To his conscience.
Yes, I appealed to him. What the judge said? How long have you been in prison? He said he had been there for about, was it 6 months? He said, I sentenced you to 6 months imprisonment, starting from the day to today. And he walked away, left. Now, somebody out there will say, Uche has released a criminal. But if he's in that shoes, we know, I always say, like we are like Christ, who came to save the world, and yet the world condemned him. You can't do without a lawyer. Yet, when a lawyer renders the same service you are craving for to another person, you start condemning him.
Okay, we shall do this or continue this another time. We have actually run out of time.
Really? Okay.
So quickly though.
Let's in addition to the last person who called to ask questions on we advising our clients to, choose or make a point, or choose from whatever services we're rendering to them, we have a duty really to tell your chances of success, especially when you bring a matter to us. We also most times would give you a time limit or time estimation on how your cases would run. It's not in our power because we're not magicians, but we can do that for you, and that is to save your resources so that you don't go on wasting your resources, and to also meet your need as our clients.
And for the purpose of clarity, the lawyer has a duty to accept any case. That you don't reject a case because it looks bad. All you need is guide your client to get the best he can out of the situation.
Okay. All right, we'll have to put a halt on the program this morning. It's been interesting. Like I said, I'm sure we'll visit this at some point on Pro Bono Chambers. Many thanks to the barristers in the house.
Thank you, Ruth.
Okay, that's fine. All right, that would do as well for today. Many thanks to those who called in and participated as well. We'll see you tomorrow, God willing. Do stay with us on Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM. My name is Ruth Usman.
Human Rights Radio.